What up, cucks? It's your boy the Hater, and I wanted to do another little video here about Roman Reigns, okay? And basically the importance of Roman Reigns and the inevitable push that he will get when he comes back. The pop will be legendary. Now, the facts are the facts. The Triple H era has largely been garbage. But the Hater is a man of honesty, and I have to give credit where credit is due. It's really that simple. The reality is that the Triple H era, whether I like it or not, has done one thing correctly, and that is keep interest in wrestlers that are not around. This is a lost art, in my opinion, and something that we don't see often enough. Whether you like it or not, this is just how it works. You need to have interest in people that aren't around because without that interest, people forget about these wrestlers, and then when they come back, they're a little bit less warm to the reception. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, a wrestler like Roman Reigns, he can come back in 10 years and he's going to get a pop. But let's take an example like Rhea Ripley, right? Rhea Ripley is being kept relevant because her name is mentioned like 7 times each episode of Raw when Liv Morgan has the Liv Morgan Dominic Mysterio segment that they have like 6 times or 7 times each episode of Raw. So with that being said, we continue to see someone like what's it called, like Rhea Ripley, maintaining their relevance, right? The same thing is being done on SmackDown with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Now, with Roman Reigns, it's far more concerted, right? Because at the end of the day, all the hard work that's being put into this, like all the wrestlers that are involved, including the Bloodline, including Kucky, including Randy, including Kevin Owens, none of this matters because this will take second stage to the return of Roman Reigns. Now, people are already scrambling, and they're saying that Roman Reigns is going to return at SummerSlam, right? At SummerSlam, I don't know what the match is going to be. I mean, at this point, it's looking like it's Kucky versus Solo, you know what I mean? But it's going to be some sort of bullshit like that, right? And I personally think that the reality is that it's going to be exactly like that. I think it's going to be that or some other, 6-man tag type bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised, right? The fact is, obviously, Cody's not losing it to Solo Sikoa. That would be absurd. But what could happen is Cody can get his ass whooped significantly behind, after the match, I should say, and Roman could save him. That's a little bit weak. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit weak because, in my opinion, Roman Reigns shouldn't come out to save Cody. So only for Cody to hold up his arm, like, oh, he's the champion. Like everybody knows that once Roman Reigns comes back, nobody gives a shit about Cody, right? Like once Roman Reigns is back, Cody Rhodes is back to the mid card. I don't care if he's the champion; he's gonna be in the mid card. Like if Roman Reigns is back and he's gonna be on pay-per-view, the only way Cody is gonna be in the main event is if he's wrestling with Roman Reigns or against Roman Reigns. Well, we all know that, right? So what's going to happen is the inevitable. The inevitable is that Roman Reigns is going to come back and he's going to be the head of the show and the head of the pay-per-view and he's going to be the draw. And if you had to bet money on who's going to main event WrestleMania this next year, the smart money is on Roman Reigns. I don't care who it's against, but it's on Roman Reigns, right? Like I said, the pop will be legendary. It's going to be one of the biggest pops of all time, especially if it's unexpected in some capacity, right? But now, think about what that says about everybody else, right? It basically says what we all know to be true, right? For example, we start with the bottom of the barrel, and in this context, that's not an insult. We start with Randy Orton. Like obviously, Randy Orton's role in the show now is just to be there, right? Like he came back, he had this big return, this big moment at Survivor Series. It lasted for about 30 seconds because he came in, cleared house, did his RKO spot, and then CM Punk stole his thunder. Who would have thought that CM Punk would have done absolutely nothing else since then? But it is what it is. From that point forward, Randy Orton has done fuck all. He's done nothing, motherfuckers. He has done nothing. And I know it doesn't seem like it's been a long time, but we're basically in July now, which means it's been 8 months, motherfuckers. It's been, let's say, 7 months, because, Survivor Series happens at the end of November, right? It's been like, in a few months, it'll be a year since Randy Orton came back, and he's done fuck all. And that's fine. That's what he does. He's just there to put over the segment. He's just there. You could stick him in a 6-man tag match, just like Kevin Owens, who's been doing this for like 2 years now. Since like his bullshit thing with Sami Zayn, and even before that, honestly, Kevin Owens has just been like a guy that's there. He's a guy that's there. Right? He's a mid-carder, he's a Val Venus, you know? And Randy Orton is now in that Val Venus, Sheamus, old Ric Flair role, you know what I mean? Where he's just there like MVP. These some solid mid-carders that you can eventually, you know, at some point you can plug them into like a Raw main event, right? And they'll do nothing impressive. But what about everybody else that's being pushed, quote unquote, right? What about Kevin Owens? We just established that one, right? What about Cookie Rhodes? He's just one of the 6 guys in a 6-man tag match. And don't get it twisted. The other side of the card ain't better either, motherfucks. You got Solo Sikoa, dog, and you got Tama Tonga. Yeah, I'll back you up for life, man. You know, and you got Camacho over there. Orale se vato. Right? You got all these guys over there, and their entire purpose of this show, like, one can only hope that Roman Reigns just comes back at Money in the Bank. But the entire purpose of this entire group of 6 people that I just mentioned is literally to hold the ball while Roman Reigns gets ready to come back. That's the whole point. The only person that's getting a rub from the 6-man match is Roman Reigns, right? No one's going to benefit in the bloodline, which they're probably going to win. No one's going to benefit from Team Cucky because either they're, you know, Randy Orton, who has nothing to benefit because it's done. His career is over, basically. Like, he's never going to be in the main event again. Honestly, Randy Orton should just go away. Randy Orton should pull like a Batista or a John Cena and just go away and then come back in like 5 years. He'll still be like relatively young. He'll be like, you know, in his late 40s, right? He'll be like, or even go out for like 3 years. He can retire, and in 3 years he'll be like AJ Styles' age. You know what I mean? And he can just show up and like get like a push just from being gone for a while, or he can flounder and be in teams like RKO or whatever the fuck they're called, right? The point is you call them KRKO, Croc. You know what I'm saying? Call them the Croc, motherfucker. But the point is, the idea here is this, right? The entire 6-man tag match exists only for one reason, and that is to build the anticipation for the inevitable moment. You can take this one to the bank. After Cookie Rhodes' theme song comes on last in the 6-man tag match, and the fans go, whoa, they're gonna do like a little prolonged introduction. And what's going to happen then is as the match starts, it's not going to be Cookie who starts. It's going to be Kevin Owens. It's going to be Kevin Owens starting with Tama Tonga. I would almost bet money that it's going to start out with Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga. They're going to start square each other up, and then basically immediately while they look at each other and they like flare their nostrils, the crowd's going to start chanting, "We want Roman," and you're going to keep hearing this throughout the match, meaning nobody gives a flying fuck that Cody Rhodes is there. At this point, we can all agree Cody Rhodes' title run has been a colossal failure, and he is back to being Cody Rhodes. He's no longer the Cody Rhodes that should be WWE champion. He doesn't feel like WWE champion. He doesn't feel like a big deal, which is why he's in a mid-card match, and he's not going to main event. I mean, this match might main event, but it doesn't count. It's a 6-man tag match, right? It's only main eventing. And here's the beautiful thing. This will be the first time in history. The first time in WWE history. There's been a few other situations. Like a great example would be Backlash 2000 or 2001. I always confuse them. The one where the main event was Stone Cold it was Triple H versus The Rock with Stone Cold on The Rock's corner. Like, the real main event there was Stone Cold. Like, nobody gave a fuck. I mean, people love The Rock. People love Triple H. But the reality is the draw of that main event was Stone Cold, right? Nobody gave a fuck about what's happening in the match. Same thing with like Cena versus Miz at WrestleMania 25. Like the draw there is The Rock, right? And you could even make the argument for this WrestleMania, Cookie Rhodes and Roman. The real draw there is The Rock. But fine, it is what it is. Cody Rhodes did main event, but this main event at Money in the Bank, the real draw here is just Roman Reigns, and this is the first time ever when the biggest draw, like the biggest not draw. But because he's not going to be there. But the catalyst, the biggest factor of this main event is someone that's not even there. That's how bad wrestling is. That we're going to watch a 6-man match, and the entire point of the 6-man match is to put over the faction that is there to take the beating for when Roman Reigns comes back. Like, this is a build-up. Like, basically, Cookie Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens are going to play the role of jobbers, and they're going to go out there, they're going to do the job to give some legitimacy to this new bloodline, and then Roman Reigns is going to come back and just punish the bloodline in probably like a 3 or 4 month story arc that I would guess culminates at Survivor Series with Roman Reigns winning with some other bullshit. Maybe it's probably going to be Roman and the Usos and maybe like, whatever, some other Tongan or Samoa they're going to have there. Maybe Rikishi, who the fuck knows. It's going to be somebody else is going to be, probably not Rikishi, obviously. It's going to be another member. Maybe The Rock. How sick would that be? Like Roman Reigns, the Usos, and The Rock versus the new bloodline. You know what I mean? That would be sick. In War Games. But I don't think The Rock's doing a War Games. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be something like that. And Roman Reigns is going to get the pin. And then he's going to go on and he's probably going to win the Rumble. And he's probably going to go main event WrestleMania against, who the fuck knows, probably The Rock. Because I don't see Cody Rhodes main eventing the next Mania. This is going to go down as a colossal failure in any capacity. But the pop will be legendary for Roman Reigns, motherfucks. Take that to the bank.